and then let's roll intro in 5, 4, 3.
I'm gonna be, just again, I'm gonna be introducing myself.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Amanda Ybanez. I'm born, raised, and live in Kalihi, Palama to be specific. And I'll be running for the District House 30 seat for Kalihi Palama. And again, I wanted to introduce people that are influential because we're all community and we're here to find solutions together. To my left, I have Lei Aloha Tumbaga. She's from Kalihi Valley. And to my right, I have Jesse James, and he is from To The Top, which is Instagram. Jesse, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the spot. Thank you for having me. My name is Jesse Jones. My middle name is actually James.
Oh.
I'm the founder of To The Top Hawai'i, and what we do is we aid the houseless with resources and essentials. We're pretty much the bridge to a lot of information that sometimes they don't have. Yeah.
There's a lot going on in Kalihi. There's a lot going on in Hawaii, on Oahu. What is the specialized area, if any, that you're working on at the moment? What are the projects?
The main area that we are in is Kapolei, West Side, but that doesn't mean we deter from other areas that have a need. So a lot of times we're out there, I've been out there with you, something as simple as off topic, but like a mother's awareness, Mothers Against Drunk Driving awareness sign waving, just to, elevate the community. Thank drivers, thank good drivers for being out there.
Yeah.
But someone like Trisha from My Sister's Keeper, who goes heavily into some of the lower income housing, KPT, Mayor Rights, CAM4 housing, and providing food and essentials for them as well. So when she calls, when you call, I'm there.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, reaching out into the community and giving back to the people that are in need. And nowadays, there are so many, just the basic essentials, food, water, shelter, just the basic things, or what people are struggling with to obtain. And that is happening a lot and more often. And we can see that in the food drives with the food bank. And we don't even have to wait for just when the federal cutbacks happened and the amount of people that needed help. I believe literally the food bank and food insecurity for Oahu and anybody in Hawaii, it is also at a crisis level where people are in need because affordability is so high and we're dependent on outside resources for just the basic needs. So Jesse, thank you for all that you do. And I wanted to circle back on that wave signing. This is the holiday season. And sometimes the holiday season causes people to feel a certain way, and their coping mechanisms, people run towards sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, drinking and driving. Drinking and driving is a dangerous mixture. So thank you for having me be part of that event, because I do care about the safety and welfare of our community. I am a first responder myself. I service my community. I try to keep everybody as safe as I can. I volunteer a great deal of my time, over 15 years, volunteering my time over 15 years to help my community. But it takes a whole village to help an individual. And on this island alone, I just want to go over some statistics that are real. I believe on this island alone, we have approximately 1.4 million people. And that's according to the last census. But you and I both know, when you knock on a door and a stranger comes up to your house and, hey, how many people live in your home? More often than not, they're not going to tell you the truth because I don't know you, so I'm going to be like, hey, maybe 1 or 2, but there's 5 or 6. So, again, the need is there. The crisis is here. Affordability is out of our hands. Every single day, every single month, the food bank and all the volunteers are doing all that they can to meet just the basic needs of the people that we have right now. But going back to you, Jesse, if you could, please share your journey and how you got to this point.
Wow, that could go longer than this time allotted. But a fast forward story, I wasn't a good human being in a past life. So, and watching my son grow up and wondering, is he gonna do the same things I'm doing? He's copying all the way I walk, the way I move, the way I talk. Why is dad coming home 4 in the morning? Why does he have so much money on him all the time? What kind of example am I setting him? So I had to flip the script fast. You know, I want to zero it down to one moment where I'm in the garage, packaging stuff that's supposed to go out the next day, and I'm praying. I was like, God, there's got to be a different way. There's got to be another path. There's got to be something I can do to show my son that this is not porno, and he showed me the way simply by I had an opportunity to help an uncle in front of a 7-Eleven to get him food. I said, Uncle, go inside. I'll get you whatever you need. And he's like, no, I'm good, boy. I don't need nothing from 7-Eleven. I want Zippies. Like, what? Never mind. And this is what I'm still kind of like, you know, I'm off in the head. I'm a little negative all the time. So I'm like, never mind then. And I drove off. And the first song that pops up on my dashboard, Judgment Day. This is right after I did that prayer.
Wow.
So this particular 7-Eleven, it is difficult to take a lap around and get back. But I came back. And I was like, Uncle, what's your problem? I'm just trying to make sure you don't go hungry tonight. He's like, you try to eat 7-Eleven every day. Tell me how you like it. And it hit. That was a day like I really felt like I learned compassion. And I took him right across the street, got him that plate. And ever since then, it just kind of accumulated. I started to talk to them more. They're people, just like me and you. I'm no better, and I'm no less.
Right. Right on.
Getting to know them by their name, what they might need. Something as simple as identification. You're trying to go into a shelter, and you don't have a way to. It's weird how that works. You can't prove you're houseless. You don't have. You need to get your ID, but you don't have an address to send it to. It's such an uphill battle, and me. And a group of my wife and friends learning how to do this ourselves, and then finding out programs and people like you that are out there willing to lend a hand, like in the trenches, and do something about it. That's how To the Top Way was built, was by doing. I didn't know what I was doing, you know, and to just trial and error. I'm still trialing and erroring and learning as I go along.
We all are.
And that's how To the Top Way was built. And it's not just addressing houselessness, it's being an advocate in the community. It's going out there feeding, beach cleans, even night markets. Yeah.
Right on. Thank you for that work. And I like to focus on that we're all volunteers, we're all people just trying to make it. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes. Don't judge a person on where they're at. Help them rise better than where they were. Yeah, just like a teacher. We're all gonna make mistakes, expect it. I'm not gonna be perfect, that's normal. But how can we help each other? That's where the solution of the community is, and that's what I'm feeling that we're a part of. And then we can see it, and we're taking action together as much as we can together. And Lei, you come from Kalihi Valley, right?
Yes.
What are the areas that you see anybody volunteering time, or the time that you volunteered in your community as well?
For homelessness.
Yeah, for homelessness, and I believe you work for Aloha United Way.
Yes.
Yeah, so the things that you do.
I am also thinking of what my neighborhood themselves has done to try to, because I tried to tackle homelessness that is growing and going into Kalihi Valley. I've heard them mention, this is all because I haven't actually been there to help, but they do try to get outreach workers to work with the homeless, but sometimes they don't take it, right? Let's see. And then of course, in Kalihi, for 211, I do refer them to the outreach. I was gonna ask about if you guys work with the outreach with like KWO, but
Yes.
you do. Okay. Because with the outreach in IHS, you know, some people might not want to work with IHS.
Yes.
So another agency in the community is actually Palama Health Center. We have them listed for their homeless. What was it called? It's like it was like a homeless project, but they're also another option for outreach, and they're actually island-wide apparently. So
nice.
I was like, okay, so I can always refer them as a second option. But let's see. But yeah, it's mainly the outreaches I try to navigate them to. But I've seen KWO, there was an option that you can call after hours, so I really like that.
Yes.
And I hope that could be incorporated with IHS, because Right now, the outreach is only Monday to Friday, but I'm seeing, of course, the shelter is 24/7, so you can go to those directly. But like you say, the system is where you have to have a homeless verification letter. So that's why I always
Yeah.
navigate or try to give not just the shelter, but also a homeless outreach. So that way, you know, I'm not just giving one thing to my callers. I'm
Some
giving,
options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of giving them the path, right? Outreach, and then in order to
Yeah.
get them into the
You
right
did also
shelters.
invite me to that. I think it was a KPT pact, parents and children together,
Right.
Yeah.
and they just I think it was like a ceremony where they have that mobile, pretty much resource center there. There's like clothes in there,
Yeah.
access,
Yeah, I invited
medical
you to that.
attention. Yeah, that was awesome
Coalition.
to see that we finally have something mobile, because sometimes kapuna handicap, they can't make
Yes.
it to
Yeah.
these
Yes.
You bet.
spaces. To know that
Right.
you guys now can drive there,
It comes to you.
yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of like be able to bridge that you're part of the services that is provided with Aloha United Way. You work for them. You're very cognizant on sometimes the technicalities on how to gain services, and then we have boots on the ground like Jesse here that is in the community, reaching out, doing the hard day-to-day drive of being out there with the people as it's happening, and you're with compassion, and that's something that we need to grow. And but there's also something that's happening in our community. Again, circling back to 2 people once upon a time. Now we have thousands, and it's growing and it's multiplying. I want to know if there's any possible solutions or ideas that you folks have, that you're willing to share. Any possible solutions on how we can address affordability crisis and the homeless crisis at the moment? Any possible solutions that you guys might think could be viable?
Well, of course, more housing
More housing.
would be. From what I understand, there is only one medical doctor on island that's able to also treat people that have sometimes mental health challenges. So another doctor would be nice, that to help them get through some. It's traumatizing to know that the next day you're unsure if you're going to have a roof over your head, or you're going to have food for you and your family. So to have someone to kind of guide you through that and get you back to a more sustainable level would be nice. I'm even looking at like I'm new to this.
Yes.
And I'm continuously learning. I'm not perfect, but I'm like looking at other countries and how they're doing it.
Nice.
Finland, who has it down to 2%. Japan, same thing. They have their numbers are decreasing rapidly.
For homeless?
For homeless.
Wow.
Like their numbers are low, and why I've noticed that in their trending pattern is that they house them first, no questions asked, even if you're using, and then from there, it gives them a sense of stability.
Yeah.
And then now they're like, I wonder what I can do next. Maybe I can get a job, and they kind of like guide them and walk them through the process of getting back to being, a citizen.
Wonderful.
So I'm hoping we can apply that here someday. But then again, too, we're on an island where we don't have that much space, so I'm just wondering how that's going to conflict or work for us. Or
God, that is a great solution. You said Finland and Japan.
Yes.
You have a need, and they're going to house you. They're going to stabilize you, because we're human beings and we should have shelter. Basic things of like food, water, shelter. You shouldn't be begging.
Yes.
Humanity, right?
Yeah.
Just the basic needs of humanity, and we're in a crisis where even the basic needs on this island and limited resources, we're having to beg. People are having to beg, and I don't think that's humane at all. So I like that idea. Thank you for sharing that. That Finland. So we have other countries that there's a model, there's something that's working, is working for the people. They're obviously not struggling doing these programs, and it's happening and it's working.
Yes.
It's working, right?
Yes.
Gosh, that would be something good. People of Hawaii that are watching, he has done his research. This is something that maybe the people and elected candidates such as myself, I hope to get into office. I hope to make a difference to all the years of experience and volunteering my time over 15 years and struggling and being alongside the people of Hawaii to make these kind of changes and implementations. So thank you for sharing that. Now, do you think that is feasible in Hawaii? That we can practice maybe some of that? And I believe, I'm going to give a suggestion right now, if I can, for you both, right?
Please.
So let's brainstorm here. Because we're about the community looking for solutions. What about in and around the rail line, transient orientated development, the skyline, the rail? What if what is the possibility? People at home, this is something for you to think about as well. Solutions. Maybe that kind of model, which you just said is happening in Finland and Japan, and it's successful. Why can't we do that in and around Hawaii and the rail line here? Do you guys think that might be a good idea?
I mean, personally, I'm a person that's optimistic, and I'm like, if it works for them, why couldn't it work for us? Japan is an island as
Yes,
well, where
similar.
20% is actually only used for housing. 80% is like mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if Japan could do it, I don't see why Hawaii couldn't. At least like try to model it where it would work.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it takes, right?
How about you, Jesse? What do you think
I think
the
so.
viability?
I think this is where we need to make a. We've been doing these repetitive, habitual programs for years, and it hasn't left a dent. I mean, something like that idea. I mean, why not? Why not try something different?
Try
Why not?
something
And
different.
they're close to transportation. It'll be easy for them to go to and from work. You know,
Right.
it gives them stability, a sense of hope. And isn't that what we're?
Access.
Yes, access. So
I think that would be a great
I agree.
idea. So, people of Hawaii, that's maybe one of the ideas that we can start thinking about. If the rail line is being built, if the people of Hawaii will have to pay for it, yes, we will. Can we build something that is going to be in the best interest for the people? That is going to be at the same time part of the solution. Let's build towards a better future. This, what I'm saying, might be controversial, but at the same time, wouldn't it be considered common sense? So that's something for us to really think about. And also for the work that you do with those that are in the community, recidivism, those that have a record. You know, how can we also help them? Because sometimes, like I said, people make mistakes. The range of that, people of Hawaii, the range of making mistakes is pretty large. But we are not here on this island when something happens like a tsunami, earthquake, God forbid, the Lahaina fires, and I have family that were affected. We'll get back to that in another episode. Any natural disasters, flooding, hurricanes, right? If something were to happen, this is it. We don't know when the help will come and somebody will come in and get us. There's only 22 ambulances on this island alone to service 1.4 million people. If something were to happen, hopefully your family, your neighbors, your community will be there to help you as well through it. Just like what happened in Lahaina fires. When I had to, my sister called me on that day and she was telling me that everything was on fire. Again, that'll be for another episode. But I had to walk her through how to survive when everyone in that community, every home, every house, every memory that I remember in Lahaina Luna is gone. So it is vitally important that we, future generations and the people that are on this island, hear and heed the need for solutions and to start working together to help each other and help our future. So I wanted to circle back with Lei. I think you wanted to mention something and in connection with the services that are, you know, he's doing groundwork, you're doing service providing. He was mentioning, you know, we keep on throwing things at a problem with, and it's only growing exponentially. And you're from the service provider part. How reasonable can we have 10 Aloha United ways to open up as this population explodes? From the service provider part, what do you see fit as viable or reasonable or possible solutions brainstorming right now that you see to address all of this emergency as it's unfolding? It's like a slow burn of Lahaina. It's like a slow burn of Lahaina, if you can picture that right now in our society. We see the burning, we know something's happening, we know we have to respond. Now we have to come up with solutions.
But now what are you going to do about it, you know?
Yes, what are you going to do
Yeah.
about it? We're going to keep on doing this every single day and keep on doing, like what you said, throwing things at it, or we're going to start to get to what's causing it. Any possible solutions?
You did mention saying like having 10 Aloha United ways. We technically do have, you know, each island has their, there's like a Maui United Way, Big Island United Way, but what I want to point or focus on is our providers, our our partnerships with other agencies like Catholic Charities. What else? We also have, we can also do resources like, I'm trying to remember the name of the one farm that's near the Makaha Elementary School, because they're actually, I just heard we tried to.
Ahomanu?
Yeah, an Aina. I know I had the word Aina in it. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
but we have them as a partner too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and because what Aloha United Way does is we have our donations and we distribute those to our partner agencies. So really, it's technically we're working with all the other nonprofits, giving them funding.
I think I'm gonna kind of move it into the direction I think I intended. Dr. Miku, which is part of the Kapilani Community College, and she's trying to create hubs of educating and teaching our community. And each community has different needs, and thank you for bringing it up. Every single island is gonna have different needs, right? I lived in Maui for just a brief amount of time, all over the island, because I have family everywhere, right? I'm Kama'aina, so I have family everywhere. And for Oahu, Kalihi is going to be different than Waimanalo. Waimanalo is going to be different than Wahiwa. Every single area has its geographical limits and strengths, pros and cons for every single thing. So I wanted to circle back to hubs. What are hubs? Hubs, again, are with the help of Dr. Miku from Kapilani Community College. She's putting together this program to create hubs of sustainability and resilience. So she's working with Keiki Oka'aina in Kalihi Valley to help grow food, to nourish the people. In case there is an event, they do ongoing training, ongoing education on what that's going to look like if they were to have an emergency in the area. Are you aware of that program, or have you heard of Keiki Oka'aina?
I've heard of Keiki Oka'aina. I just haven't actually. I know they've held meetings, right? But I haven't been able to attend personally. But I definitely want to start, or at least get through the orientation. I believe there was an orientation.
So it's a great program for the entire island. Again, it's for sustainability. It's starting to grow foods, like you mentioned about the farms. Because Hawaii, we've lost sustainability, resilience of food. So if somebody were to get hungry, or if there's a natural disaster and the ports, like a hurricane example, if there was a hurricane which is a level 4 or a 5, or even possibly a 3, the ports are going to be shut down for an X amount of time. So we don't know when the next resources are going to be. In the meantime, the food bank will be feeding the people, and that is only finite as well. So again, coming from on the ground, in the community, doing the outreach, the grind every single day, working with the people, to the service providers that are connecting people to these individuals that need that help. There's all of these different aspects and complexities in our society, even just on this island alone. And just so people at home can understand, we're 1.4 million people, but on any map, if you look on any map, all we are is like a little dot compared to the continent. We're a little dot in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right? So again, to make it very clear on the importance of this, of approaching a problem, an emergency, from several different angles, and having people be open to new ideas and new people to introduce them to new ideas. And the people that are from the community, like us, who better to represent us, and who better to be leaders in our community than the people that have been volunteering their time day in and day out for over a decade, and that have lived here and are from here and have seen people get impacted by how unaffordable it is. And I'll remind people, sometimes people shoplift for just the food. Yeah, that happens, gosh. And I'm not going to name names, because we should have compassion for people who are actually stealing food to feed themselves and their family. But that's where we're at, people of Hawaii, and especially in Kalihi. Kalihi is ground zero sometimes for a lot of these social problems, right? And we have the piers that are there, the food that comes in, but it's not making it to the tables of the people that need it. And the houses and the buildings and the concrete jungle that we live in, but there is no shelter for the people that live there. So there is a disconnect between the resources we have and what's available to the people. I also want to share that I do know that when somebody's having a mental health crisis or a substance abuse crisis, because again, we're not perfect people, and we're not here to persecute and punish anyone. We're here to help each other find solutions together, and whatever that's going to look like. So we got to be creative and open-minded and non-judgmental. With that being said, I am aware that sometimes it takes up to 3 to 6 months for somebody to get into a substance abuse program. And they're slipping further and further down the rabbit hole of addiction. And we want to help solve that problem, because if we have, like what you said, all you need is just to have, like what Japan and Finland is doing, the ability that, hi, my name is whatever it is, this is the crisis I'm living with at the moment, and I just need a place to stay so I can at least get a grip of myself, find a place to stabilize, find a place that I can feel like I'm a human being again.
Yes.
Because people will become feral. They'll lose faith, they'll lose hope, and they'll find it in a pipe. Do we really want to do that to the people of Hawaii? It's not fair. And they further will, especially for women, let's talk about that. When women are homeless, women are on drugs, and even children, teenagers are out and about on the street. They're becoming victims of crime because they're just trying to survive. So there's a lot of victims here. And how are we helping these people? Again, these are complex social problems, and we're not going to find a solution at this very moment, but we're starting the conversation.
Yes.
That people that are watching this at home, that hear our voices and know that Lei is working as hard as she can, and Jesse is on the pavement, pounding the pavement every single day, doing all that he can as well. Service providers, can we multiply them by 1,000? There's not enough space on this island to keep on continuing to throw things at it without really addressing the cause. Again, this is starting the conversation. And I wanted to say thank you, Jesse, for being here today. This is one of several different episodes because this issue deserves more time. There's 1.4 people on this island. There's 3 of us here. And hopefully, this conversation starts happening in your households, with your coworkers, with your friends, and to vote for people that are starting to have this conversation, that do the work in the community, that volunteer their time, that have compassion, and have a vision to make it happen. And Lei, aloha, thank you so much for being here as well. We're gonna have more episodes, more discussions, because like I said, this is a complex social issues full of what's causing homelessness, what's causing unaffordability, what's causing the crime, but we're not gonna punish people. We're going to help people get better, and we're going to support each other along the way. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Please spread this discussion and start having it at home. Thank you so much.